Hi guys, I'm Samina from thecodecottage.com and welcome to my YouTube channel. We are on day 8 and on the very last day where we finish working on our homepage. So this is this amazing orange marmalade theme that we've created so far, and now we are just left with the footer. That's this section right here and this area of Instagram. So we don't actually have to create these images. We just really need to add a section for Instagram, give it the class of row and things like that. So when we take it into WordPress and add the dynamic styling, it adapts to the actual style of the rest of the theme. So let's get started. Again, today's session is super quick, super swift and concise. There is not a lot of code that we'll be writing today. So let's get started. So the first thing, as always, again, write the comment. I am going to call this the Instagram feed section. Perfect. Now here, I'll be creating, the non-caps section with a class of Instagram feed. We may not need this. We might actually, let's just see how it goes. .instagram/feed. Perfect. Now within that, I'm going to create div with a class of row and close that. And then I am going to include h1 and call it at your Instagram account name. Your Instagram account name. So let's save that. Go to our theme, refresh this and check what happens. So here you go. We have that coming up here. Now just to make this more cohesive, I'm going to include the name of my Instagram handle. So I'll change this to the code cottage, just so we know what we're dealing with here, what it would look like on an actual Instagram account. Now I feel like in comparison to the rest of the stuff, this is really huge. So let's change that h1 to h2. Save that. Oops, refresh. Perfect. I'm happy with that. So let's create the other row. The next row is going to be, so this is one row which contains Instagram. Then we'll create another row and we'll leave it blank because that is where we'll be adding the dynamic call for WordPress to load the Instagram feed. So let's create that div with a class of row. And here I'm just going to leave this blank. You're not going to see anything happen here when I refresh this because we haven't added anything. We'll be adding this later on when we take this website into WordPress. Now I just want to change the styling over here because I want to center align this account name. So let's do that. I'll go into custom.css and create a new comment called Instagram feed section. And here I will add Instagram feed as my class and target the h2 within that. By now you're very familiar with this whole process of tagging or targeting the h2 within Instagram feed. So that's what I've done here. And text align, I'll just give it center. So let's refresh that. And that's in center. So we are done with the Instagram side of things. Now let's move on to the footer, which again is really simple. We don't want to complicate this a lot. So you can make your footer very, very different from this. You can include another custom menu here. You could also include other things like a search button, lots of things that you can do, but I really wanted to keep this very simple because it's a very beginner level theme that I'm working on right now. I will be creating lots of other tutorials in the coming future where I show you how you can add custom menus and other functionalities, but for now as a beginner, I really wanted to keep this super simple so we can all follow this and actually create a smashing theme without losing our minds. So let's work on the footer now. So I will create here called the footer section. And here now I'll create, now here I'm not going to use section, I'm directly going to use the footer tag. I'm going to give it the class of main footer, because this is the main footer for all of our website. Every other page in the website will have this footer, and I will give it H1 or H2 rather, and just say designed with. Now here again I'm going to add that heart, so that heart will appear when I add the I tag. So I class FA heart. I think that's the code for the heart. So that entire code will give me the heart. I don't have to add anything here. There's no need for me to add anything here, because this itself is the code to get that heart on the screen. Designed with heart by Samina Patel. Let's see what that looks like. There you go. This one shows up over here. Now I obviously do not want this to be H2 because it's huge. So I'll go into my Sublime Text and make that say H5 rather. Again, now this will be super dynamic when we take it into WordPress, so there is nothing to worry about. This is perfect. I am very happy with this. So I will give some space here, just so the heart has a little space and it's not perfect. I'm very happy with this. Now I need to style this, because obviously here we can see it's very simple, but obviously you would have already guessed how this should be done. So let's get right to it. We go to custom.css and create this footer section. And here I will call it footer, and I'll give it a background color of that cream that we've been using consistently now. So copy that, paste it here. Let's refresh that. There you go. That's got here. Now I've used a class here because I just wanted to keep it semantic. All my sections and header and footers, they have classes. So I wanted to add a class here as well. You could completely take it out if you don't want it. I prefer keeping it, but if it's something that you don't want, you can always take it out, because if we want to target the H5 within the footer, again we just use footer and H5. So it targets the H5 element within footer, and I give it a text align of center, and it will still work. So as you can see, it has worked. Now obviously it's extremely tight and we want to make it look more spacious, because I'm feeling pretty claustrophobic looking at that. So let's make that change. So I'll give it a padding of say 3% on top and bottom and about 2% on the sides. We'll always be changing this if it's too much or too little. So I think that's too much. So I'll make that 2% and 1%. So let's see if that's okay. I think I'm happy with that. And there's nothing to worry about. I know this looks super simple, but when we take it into WordPress, it's going to be something very different. Now let me show you as an example. So the code cottage.com. So this is my website. I'll just show you what it looks like in the footer. So that's how I have coded my footer. So it has a search button, my logo, and the social media icons are at the bottom. And then towards the end, we have the code cottage copyrights 2019 made with love by Samina Patel. So we are only focusing on this aspect. I will be showing you how to do this, how to create this entire section, the search, the code, and the social media icons in a later video. I will be creating lots of themes for you to see and for you to practice and for you to follow along. So for now, just to keep things simple, we have kept it extremely simple, but we'll be increasing the difficulty level in future videos. So guys, we are done with our homepage. So congratulations, you have successfully finished creating the homepage, the static version, in just 8 days. simple steps every single day. We build one thing over the other and create a magnificent piece like this. It's super simple, minimalist, slick, really clean. So I really hope you're happy with the progress. Now tomorrow we'll be working on the blog page. So it will be a main blog page, and then we will be designing individual blog posts within that blog page. So we have 2 more full sections left to finish. So we'll be doing that hopefully in the next 8 days or so, and then we'll be taking our entire website into WordPress and making it dynamic. So I hope you've enjoyed it, and I hope you're enjoying these videos. So if you are, then don't forget to give it a huge thumbs up. So it's very encouraging for me to keep posting videos and keep putting out as much educational content as I can, and I really hope you're enjoying this. If you have any comments, feedback or suggestion, pop it down in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel and hit the bell icon. That way you will be notified every time I post a new video, and I'll see you again on day 9. Until then, goodbye and happy coding.